Hey people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bella Huang, an undergraduate student of Media and Culture at Lancaster University in England. In this video, I'm going to talk about the summary I've done on a TED Talk by Nancy Etcoff, a Harvard Medical School evolutionary psychologist and cognitive researcher, called Happiness and Surprises, as well as why I feel like this talk is not the best talk I've watched compared to the other ones I did. So stay tuned to hear what I think about Etcoff. Let's get into it. To begin with, Etcoff argues, despite our hunger for happiness and ways that we have created to gain it, i.e. via piles of self-help books and prescription and illegal drugs, our level of happiness still remains unchanged. While ironically, not only are we not feeling any happier, we are feeling more depressed than ever before, as both suicide and depression rates soar. However, surprisingly and simultaneously, a survey that was done across the globe, according to Etcoff, illustrated that 3/4 of the population reported that they are feeling moderately happy, which completely disagrees with what was found initially. As for one of the reasons why individuals may struggle to achieve happiness, as Freud says, the pursuit of happiness is doomed, is that we are naturally more sensitive to the negative than the positive occurring events, be in areas such like taste, emotions, and real life. Not to mention that the stress response that we have increases the difficulty of our pursuit of happiness as well. Albeit unlike Freud, the new science of happiness argues that happiness and unhappiness are not two ends of a spectrum, and neither can unhappiness and misery be equated on the same level. As happiness, says Etcoff, is not simply the absence of misery, while still being alert and looking for opportunities. Notwithstanding, in spite of our natural tendency to focus more on negative events and get nervous easily due to our biology, as humans, we are found to be pleasure seekers to start with, Etcoff suggests. Taking babies as an example, who innately gravitate towards sweet, smooth, beautiful, pleasant-looking objects. Concurrently, as we are born with two systems inside our brain, the reward and the pleasure. The former, powered by dopamine, functions as a motivator and drives us forward, whilst the latter, powered by oxytocin, focuses on what the body likes. Furthermore, Etcoff states, we can experience pleasure by reacting to external stimuli, such like nature and cooperating with others, which is demonstrated through an experiment in that the patient who was facing a window overlooking trees and forests recovers significantly faster than the other who was facing a brick wall. And in regard to cooperation, it was found that given that humans are social animals, socializing and communicating with others stimulate the reward systems, the reward system of our brain, unlike when we are merely focusing on ourselves, such as our self-esteem, which is also what may lead us to depression and suicide. In addition to the notion of wealth can buy happiness, Etcoff maintains that though wealth does have slight effects on our level of happiness, but earning more money results in another issue, materialism, where we will no longer remember the basic pleasures of life with the exception of money. Yet, as Maslow says, nowadays, as the world becomes much safer than before, we can hopefully unchain ourselves from the shackles of materialism and step into the realm of spirituality. Not to purposely sound judgmental or critical by any means, but just as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I actually felt slightly disappointed when I finished listening to Etcoff for the first time. And I think the main reason behind it could be the structure of Etcoff's talk, which in my endeavor to come up with my summary for this talk, as it was quite hard to select the most important bits of her presentation, since the context is composed of fragments of random information that don't seem to connect well with one another. Personally, it took me more than 2 times to watch this TED Talk to fully understand her arguments. So, needless to say, for those who have not studied psychology or are only watching her speak for the very first time, which are certainly going to increase the difficulty in understanding her points. Moreover, in terms of the topic of this TED Talk, in my opinion, it doesn't seem that her arguments match with the title of her talk, Happiness and Its Surprises, yet just about happiness itself. In other words, I don't think, frankly, that there's much that can be considered as surprising in this talk, especially compared to other psychologists, such like Martin Seligman, Dan Gilbert, and Barry Schwartz, whom I have all watched and done videos about, and are, of course, much better than Etcoff. Their talks are structured well, with clear arguments, and leave messages for the audience to think further, not merely random pieces of information. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble a little bit. Sorry to sound a bit negative, but I hope my summary has either helped you guys in understanding what Etcoff is saying in her talk, or to make clear what points she is making to those who have watched it and were not so sure about what she's talking about. Also, I want to take this chance to shout out to my wonderful subscribers for supporting me and watching my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to check out my other videos on psychology and happiness, and hit that like button, comment below, turn on notifications, and subscribe to my channel. With your help, we can beat the YouTube algorithm. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.